shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Shit I'm 30 with me, your host, Carla Ramirez. We are in another week of, I'm not even sure if we're still quarantined. Some of you guys are, some of y'all aren't. There's some cities that I feel like are wide open. Atlanta seems like they say, what is COVID? We do see every people out with masks under their nose, others with like one lip showing, bottom lip covered. So I really don't know what's going on, but all I know is that I'm really excited because we're less than 2 weeks away from our women's wellness retreat. So I woke up yesterday morning freaking out. I'm like, I have so much to do, which not really, but yes, it's close. So it freaked me out a little bit. Like, ladies, I'm gonna be seeing you guys soon. Shout out to everyone that, in the midst of all of this, still paid and are showing up and are flying to Florida, which seems to be like, oh, it's like the epicenter of COVID now. I truly believe it's bullshit, but it's okay. We're good. I don't see anybody here. I don't know. I think it's just the news, and the news wants us to be scared. But anywho, talking about the retreat, today's guest is actually a certified yoga instructor, which I know personally because I used to work out in the gym back in the day when I would show up like once, twice, 3 times a month and pretend like I was fine and right afterwards. But her name is CheChe. Hey girl, thank you for coming on.
Hey Carla, thank you for having me.
Of course. So CheChe actually took my idea launch course. Funny, we'll talk about it later. But she is a Virgo, right?
Absolutely. Virgo sun, Cancer moon, Pisces rising.
And I love that you started that way because that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Suns and moons and all that stuff that I know nothing about, but we always seem to find something in like astrology to feel close to. And I don't know what the fuck it means. I just read the one that makes it something good for me, and then I go with that one. If I don't like it, I say it's bullshit, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We're also going to do a little bit of tarot work just because I've never done it before. It scares me, but I feel a little more comfortable with her because I know her. And if she do something, I'm going to find her. But before we get started with all of that, we're going to go into our shit you should know. And I'm so glad May added this in here because I was going to talk about it anyway. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. To me, it doesn't make any sense, how it was so random. And honestly, we've had so many deaths, and we have deaths throughout our lives all the time. This year, I think because we're cooped up, it just seems like there's so much more of it, and it's hitting us a little bit harder. And who it's happening to, it's like younger and younger, or we're getting older and they're our age. So it could be like that. But 43 is not old at all. And I know that a lot of people, I'm not going to say I was a super fan of him because I'd be lying and I'd be jumping on a bandwagon. I wasn't sitting here like, oh my God, Chadwick has a movie out. I can't wait. That wasn't me. I know of his movies, and I think he was an amazing actor. But honestly, now during his death, I think he's going to become the legend that he should be because of what he did while he was going through what he was going through. I know we complain of backaches. We talk about anxiety. We talk about depression. Now that is not important, but we are so vocal about what we're going through. I just can't go to work because I got my period and I can't do it. This man was showing up while dying, while, he knew his days were counted. He knew that it was over. He knew he was going to leave behind his children. He knew he was going to leave behind his wife, and no one knew. I saw that Chadwick, Spike Lee, during one of their movies, he put a comment on Instagram saying that no one knew. He didn't even know. Wow. So it takes a certain type of spirit in person. And I don't think I've ever heard of anyone doing this before that has kept it until the day they died a secret and didn't try to make anyone feel pity or sad for them. He just worked. And I do remember, but not too many pictures of him on social media, like when he lost all that weight, and they were saying that maybe it was for a role, or he's sick, or it could be drugs, or whatever they came up with. And that's another thing that I want to point out, because I'm so aware I could be an asshole 1,000%. I say things sometimes that are really bitchy, but I try to be very aware of judging others. You don't know what the fuck people are going through. Like when I'm going through certain things, people don't know what I'm going through until I decide to share them because I talk a lot. But a person like him and so many other people, like it's the majority. I'm not the rule. I'm pretty much the exception of somebody who shares and overshares their life. And which is why I think I become so relatable to some people. But most people don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
we work 9 to 5s, we live our lives, and we keep our stuff to ourselves. So the fact that he kept it to himself when he could have talked about it to someone else, I don't know. I think that made him more of a superhero and more of a king than Black Panther did. Did it hit you hard? Did you know much about him?
Yeah, like I've, seen some of the movies he played roles in. And I remember saying, because he did like Jackie Robinson, I want to say the movie 43, he did the Black Panther.
I think it's 42, right?
42. I want to say he did Thurgood Marshall. He did all these different figures, like Will Smith, we know him for the role of Ali. Jamie Foxx, the role of Ray Charles. But he was just doing several like prominent Black figures. I was like, damn, like leave some role for like some of the other people. But all of those roles, he did it in the years he knew that he was diagnosed with this cancer. And, he could have easily said to the media when they were, making fun of him, in short, oh, it's drugs, oh, he's sick, or whatever the case may be. He could have easily smashed and said, oh, y'all don't accept me? It's because I'm sick. It's because I'm dying. I have
He could have used it to get a role.
He could have easily used that, but he said, you know what, focus on my art. Catch this new movie. Okay, buy more Black Panther merchandise. I'm going on another tour. Yes, I'm still promoting all the movies, doing all the things. So focus on my art. Don't worry about my personal life, because that was his truth. And he knew his truth, but he stood in his truth, and he didn't need the acceptance of others. He didn't need external validation at all. He stood in truth and saying, I'm a creator. I'm an artist, so I'm going to do what artists do. Create the art, leave a legacy behind. He understood that it was bigger than him. And that's how you knew he was doing his soul's journey, following his soul's journey, living his life purpose. It became bigger than him. It wasn't about what he wanted or feeling secure and accepted by the world. It's like, you know what? You're going to respect me even more because I didn't make it about my illness.
I wonder if you know that your last days are coming. We all know we're going to die. Death is inevitable. It's taxes and death, right? The two things that are for sure. But if you know it's coming and they're like, you have X time left, does that make you work harder? Because sometimes I feel like we sit on our asses and like maybe like mope around. But if you know you only have a certain amount of time left, man, does that make you work hard? Does that make you hustle hard? Does that make you see life differently? I think the only person I've ever heard talk about death and be content and move forward, to me, it's Lil Duval. As crazy as he is, he's so like okay with who he is and just living life in the moment and being happy and, just smile, bitch,
Yeah. Okay. I've never heard him speak on death, so I don't know.
So yeah, he's very much just in tune with who he is and what he is and just happy. He lives for him and his legacy and what he's leaving behind. And he shows love here and there what he has, but he's older and you don't see him doing he's not a Kevin Hart moving so much and doing a lot, but he's still very wealthy because he does, he just knows who he is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we don't know when our last days are. So I figured let's work as hard and let's do things maybe like Chadwick Boseman did. Shut the fuck up and keep it moving. Go ahead.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm not going to be chiming in throughout this whole time, but so last year my sister passed away from cancer, and for a year and a half, actually until the day of, her best friends didn't know. She's the type of person, my cousins didn't know. No one knew. Of course, I mean, I'm making life decisions up in the fucking hospital. Like, no, you're not doing this. Y'all, like, I'm telling you, I was there every night. Like, and mind you, if somebody is sick, don't leave them there. Somebody needs to be there every night, period. Because the night people will be lazy as hell. There's just all types of stuff that goes on.
How did you keep it a secret?
Honestly, it's difficult when you're holding somebody else's secret.
Right.
It's like, damn, if it was me, I could tell somebody around here. But to this day, even the details of the situation, no one knows. And when someone dies, the first question is, so what happened? Do you think I'm about to be giving you a report of what the hell happened right now? But anyway, the reason why I'm chiming in is because even the people that you know and that you value and you call your best friend or your cousin might be going through something, just like Chadwick Boseman. And you don't know until the day you get the call. So you really don't know what anybody is going through. Just be aware of that.
That takes a lot for you to, stay quiet and honor their wishes. I thought of his wife because I'm sure his wife knew. Well, I don't know if his wife knew actually, but probably we're assuming because I don't think she's spoken out yet or anything like that. But his wife probably knew. So there were probably a very, very, very few people, and to keep that a secret and to have to live with it, because I'm not just saying just keeping it a secret from others, but it's like you can't even show your feelings and talk to someone about how you feel about losing a loved one. Because it's not like you're a nurse and you're keeping a secret for a patient. This is someone so close to you. You have to keep this a secret, and you cannot show your emotions, maybe to a therapist. And I would assume and I hope and pray that she maybe had a therapist through it all. But holding those secrets are so hard and probably can put a lot of stress onto her, and her health could decline just holding on to that secret. So we just don't know what anyone's going through. So try to be a little nicer and more considerate of others at all times. I really, really try. When I say assholeish things, it's not usually to anyone in specific, unless I'm cussing you out specifically. But usually it's not. But I do want to make sure you go to the doctor. You know, even if it's a clinic, whatever you have to do, find a way to get checked up. Don't wait until something's hurting. Preventative care is so much better than waiting until you're sick. You know, now something hurts and it's like stage 3 cancer when it could have been something super preventable way beforehand. So try to get checkups, and yeah, that's all that fun. It's not fun, but you know what
you should know.
Yeah, it's shit you should definitely know. So going into our topic for today, I'm going into this because I used to post all the time, like the Taurus horoscope on the podcast page or on my page. And I remember I would pick days that I didn't like what it said. So I was like, fuck this, I'm not posting it today. I'll post something else. Or find different like horoscopes that matched with what I was feeling that day, because they're usually pretty broad. So in all, I don't really believe in it. So we're going to figure out if you're going to teach me some things here. But what I do know you love, Chi first, is yoga. And I know you're like, you love it and you do your little yogi stuff. How did you start with yoga? Because I can't do yoga to save my life, girl.
Well, I was a cheerleader in high school. I was on the dance team.
Of course you were.
You know, I was that girl. So I've always had this love for moving the body and stretching and things like that. So yoga for me is just another way to move my body and explore it. You know, I'm 30, shit, I'm 30 podcast. I'm 32, yes, be 33 in 2 weeks, Virgo season. So I just want to stay limber. You know, if you don't use it, you lose it. I got a split. I'm going to keep that split.
Girl, I think I have like 3 feet up from my split.
I got to bust it open, Carla.
And it's not going nowhere for I have tried. Wax has tried spreading this, you know.
I got you, girl. I got you. Let me help you.
I don't know. What kind of different yogas do you do? Like, what do you teach yoga-wise?
Well, I don't have my YTT yet, but just basic flows. I love, just doing the poses. I'm still trying to get my handstand. Like, I'm not this yogi master. I just enjoy it, you know. And I have experience with teaching yoga, so just basic flows.
And you be meditating, and I'd be like, how does she keep her eyes closed and think for that long?
Yeah, like meditation and motivational speaking is more my jam, but I do appreciate yoga and stretching, dance, all of that feminine, creative energy flow.
Do you feel like yoga helps you have better sex?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. Because for one, yoga, the breath is like really one of the foundations. And when you're orgasming, you got to have that breathing, that, connecting the energy and getting that.
Listen, I need to watch this video because the way you're flowing out, I feel like she's in it.
Yeah, you got to get that chakra, the Kundalini energy waking up, girl.
I want Kundalini. Somebody give me Kundalini. Yeah. I'm gonna try some of this first. Yeah, what the hell is Kundalini? It sounded very sexual.
Basically, you have your chakras aligned, and again, no master, just an enthusiast. But you have your chakras aligned, from the root of your spine up to your crown of your head. And from my understanding, the Kundalini, it's like, have you seen the imagery of the snake? Like the snake with the spine going up the chakras? It's basically that. And when you awaken the Kundalini energy, that's like your sexual energy, your creative energy. That's when everything is just flowing as it should. So when you have blocked chakras or blocked energy, you may be angry, you may be sad, you may be repressed in some type of way because there's no flow.
You know, it's funny. Wendy is always talking about some type of chakras. She's like, with the chakras and this. And I'm like, girl, who is Shaka Khan? What did you talk about? Like chakras and where? But I think like the chakras are like, it's energy based, right? It's like your energy.
Yeah, basically. So you have about, I want to say 7 chakras. Red for roots, it's at the base of your spine. Orange is for sacral. That's your, the root is for your security. You're feeling grounded. So your value, your money, how secure do you feel? Next is orange. That's going to be right there, like your bladder, your navel. That's your sexual, your creative energy. That's orange. Yellow is going to be right in your center. That's your powerhouse, your motivation. Okay. Your happiness, you know, your flow. At your heart is the heart. That's green. So your love, compassion, self-love. It goes to the blue throat chakra, how you speak. So if you're not speaking your truth, if you're not speaking what's on your heart, that could be an indicator of a blocked throat chakra. Then you have your third eye. That's going to be the indigo color. That's your insight, your intuition. And then your crown is going to be purple. That's your connection to the divine.
Oh, wow. That's you know,
and everybody has it.
Girl, you know your chakras, girl.
I like it.
I didn't even know there were colors to it, and there were like positions. The bladder one of mine is very, very in touch right now with peeing every 5 seconds.
Let's
That
go.
chakra got it. The baby got the pee-pee chakra.
Let's go, baby boy.
I know, right?
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. He's ended doing. I think I started to start feeling him, the flutters.
Let's go.
So that has had me like really like screaming I think last night where I said his hand there. I was like, oh my God. He's like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like, did you feel it? He goes, I didn't feel shit. I'm like, oh, it's just me, but I feel it.
It's gonna be a boy, Mom. Adorable.
I know. I can't wait. So let's switch over a little bit into tarot reading.
Okay.
And what's funny about this tarot reading is I'm scared of it. So when I pass by tarot, and by scared, I mean, so, you know, you grow up and like your family's religious and they're like, you don't touch psychics or mediums or tarot or palm readings because that is of the devil. And don't you dare go around that. There's spirits and there's all kinds of stuff. And we grew up with that kind of like, don't turn on the light in the car because a cop will stop you and it's illegal.
Yeah.
So they told you this and that's all you remember. Mm-hmm. So basically what is tarot cards and what is a tarot reading?
Again, I'm still learning about tarot, but I'm an enthusiast. I love it. I pretty much watch a video on tarot every day. But basically their cards, I want to say they reflect the astrology wheel because some cards will represent a zodiac sign. Like there's a card for Taurus in there. There's different cards for you, like maybe the sun, the moon. So cards that your intuition speaks to you and you just get an interpretation from it. Like I can't tell you like the whole history from it, but basically it's just a meditation tool. It's a way to connect with the divine and to strengthen your intuition.
So it's not like a card says something to me. It's more there's a card and then you as the reader or whoever is reading you feels something. And then that's when that's the reading, they're feeling.
Prime example, the devil card, okay, or the death card that's in the tarot. People freak out about that because if you've seen the movie Carmen with Beyonce, remember the hip opera back in the 2000s, Carmen.
I know that movie.
I'm sure it had Mekhi Phifer in it. It was a star-studded cast, but Beyonce was Carmen, and they had a tarot reading scene in there. And there was actually a scene in What Men Want with Taraji P. Henson. It came out a few years ago.
I've seen that movie.
There was a tarot reading scene in there also. But the death card represents Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is Lord of the underworld. So when you have the death card, that means something is coming up that may have been repressed or something that hasn't been dealt with. It's been maybe years ago or something is coming, it's being uprooted. So that's just a reminder to you like, hey, so there's a rebirth, there's a transformation, there's something that needs to be dealt with. Or the devil card. The devil card is represented by the energy of Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign that's grounded, but with Capricorn, they're really hard workers. They're good at acquiring money, but if you don't have a balance with that could be an abuse of power. So once that's money hungry, that's bound by the love of money, hence the devil cards. Because when you look at it, it's people that are in bondage. So it doesn't necessarily mean the devil. It just means whatever toxic energy is in your life. So that could be a relationship. That could be your view of money. That could be your self-hate, your self-talk, anything that's considered toxic in your world. And that's what it means by your intuition, because you interpret. We can get the same cards, but depending on what's going on in your life, you're going to see it differently than I do. And that's why it's important to trust your own voice, because this world is so conditioned to seek out answers outside of ourselves. When if you trust that you're the hands and feet of God, trust that God flows within you and he speaks to you. you know?
Right.
So for me, it's a way for me to connect to God. I don't necessarily believe in the devil. I was raised Christian Baptist, but I identify as spiritual now because I believe everyone has their own path. Like, who am I to tell you what you should believe in? And I feel like a lot of Black people specifically stray away from tarot because we've literally been told, don't do it from our Christian upbringing, which we're only Christian because they enslaved us.
Remember the
hitting.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. But to go back, like the main reason Black people are Christian in the first place because we were enslaved to be Christian by our oppressors. So why would they make such an effort to get rid of what we were already doing? Because it gets us power.
I think if you believe in Christianity, it was before slavery, and there were slaves back then as well, and all that was going on. But I think it's all, whenever I listen to me still being Christian and still believing in it, we're led by faith. Yeah. So and it's just like when you're spiritual, I think of Muslims or I think of Hinduism, it's all faith based. So you just kind of believe in it. So when you say God, so you believe in a higher being, just not that being Jesus and his Father.
I believe the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Maybe there was a God named Jesus. I just don't invest my energy in that. I just invest my energy in I'm connected to God. God flows through me. I am of God. I just focus on that rather than saying, like, preaching to Jesus specifically.
So do you pray?
Yes. Pray, meditate.
God.
Yes. God in general. I feel like just God
higher
is.
Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so you don't believe in hell?
I believe in the afterlife. I believe in reincarnation.
Oh.
But I don't believe there's a fire pit. I feel like everyone has a different definition of hell. Like, do you watch American Horror Story? No. Well, in the season 3, I want to say Coven, at the end, they had a depiction of hell. And there was this woman that was married to this guy she hated in the country. Like, that was considered her hell. Like, shit. So every day she would wake up and she would just relive having to wake up to this man that she hated in this place where she doesn't have any friends. Like, that was considered her hell. So I feel like for everyone, they have their own definition of hell, and maybe you come back, you reincarnate in this world to learn your lessons or to experience that hell because of what you did in a previous life. So again, I'm still a student. I don't have all the answers, but that's just what my faith tells me to believe.
Right. I got it. It makes sense. All right. So you started your journey into reading.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go into like the other stuff, we're going to pass this one. Do you have cards with you?
Yeah, I got them right here.
Oh, geez, this came back really fast. I thought we were gonna read this. All right, so let's try to do some type of reading. See how we feel. Are we supposed to do something before? Like, am I supposed to or anything like that?
I mean, like, I'll just do it, and if it resonates, cool. If it doesn't, okay. Like it don't make a fuck to me, but like if it it really doesn't, so like, if it speaks to you, cool. If it doesn't, that's all right too. It may resonate later. It may not be for you. Maybe it may be for May. It may be for me, okay. Spirit speaks. So it's whatever.
So you're going to connect to a spirit?
No. So your sign is a Taurus, right? Do you know your moon and rising sign by chance? No. Okay. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I think you have to choose like the date and time when you were born and stuff like that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We can look it up. You want me to look it up real quick? Will that help you?
I mean, you can if you want. It's not necessary, but it's just cool to know. So like when
I did it on live one day with people, and I don't remember what it was.
Okay, it's all good.
Okay.
Okay. So just like give me a minute.
You got it. She's breathing.
Okay. 3 pop-out cards for Carla, please. Taurus Sun. 3 pop-out cards for Carla, 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 Taurus Sun. 3 pop-out cards for Taurus. 3 pop-out cards for Carla, Taurus Sun. Okay. 3 pop-out cards for Carla, Taurus Sun. 3 pop-out cards for Carla, Taurus Sun. 3 pop-out cards. Okay. All right, so the cards that popped out was the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Hierophant. Let's go. Okay, bottom of
All
the
right,
deck.
let's get excited.
Sorry. Okay. So the bottom of the deck is the Empress, which is the Taurus card. Okay. The first card that popped out was the Seven of Pentacles. This is an earth energy. So you have four different suits, just like a deck of cards. How you have four suits. In tarot, you have four suits. You have Pentacles, which represents earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The number is 7. You know, 7 is considered a number of completion. Earth is earth energy. So anything that's tangible, money, resources, anything that's tangible, wealth. Okay. So this could be representative of the 7th month, which is what, July. This could be about growing. So seven of Pentacles is like like a cycle, like time you've invested in something, planting seeds for a period of 7 weeks, 7 years. 7. It's like
That's
the
in
number
the
of completion.
Bible. 7 days.
Mhm.
The 7th day is the Sabbath day. I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just like as if you've been working hard, you know, to plant the seeds, because you see here, he has his shovel, you know, and he's looking like, okay, what's next? Like he's handling business. And then you have the Four of Wands. Wands is another suit that's going to be the element of fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And the Four of Wands is considered a positive card. It's a good luck card. It's the card of the home, the house, because, you know, we have 4 corners. So that's stability, building a solid foundation, happiness. 4, again, the number of building, the number of security, and just building that foundation. So happiness there. And then the Hierophant card is another Taurus card. The Hierophant represents, it's the card number 5. So, you know, Taurus is also month 5 with May, the end of April going into May. So the Hierophant card is the card number 5. It's the element of Taurus. It's also the card of marriage, organization, structure, because you have the priest here, right? And he's like giving a blessing. So it's like you're blessing a marriage.
And May and I opened up our eyes. Really.
Yeah, for real. It's organized religion, it's marriage, it's structure, it's education, anything some type of organization structure. But I would say marriage, especially with the Four of Wands here, because you have like you're building a family and then there's marriage. So, and then at the bottom of the deck is the Empress, which again is a Taurus card. The Empress, she's the queen. Look at her. She's sitting on her throne. She has all this lush green behind her. Again, Taurus is an earth element, so you have all the lush green. The yellow represents happiness. Also the solar plexus chakra. Remember, that was the 3rd chakra we talked about. So that's standing in your power, or in this case, sitting in your power, being comfortable. You're saying, you know what? I'm living in abundance. I'm happy. I got my money. I got my house. I got my marriage. I'm happy. You know, I got it all. She has it all. So with the Empress, the partner to that will be the Emperor, which is card number 4. The Empress is card number 3. Yes. Any questions so far?
I like it. I am a believer, honey, because this is all good.
Yeah, it's a really good reading.
It all seems so positive. Are they all positive?
It's not all positive, because it's because people that go to tarot, they're going for answers, right? Mm-hmm. So for some people, it's going to be the placebo effect. It's going to be like, oh my God, yes, because they would just want to have a reason to blame it on something. Right. But if you have an understanding that, oh shit, I'm responsible for the choices I make in my life. So if I get a reading, it's not because I have bad luck. It's because I know in my heart, that's what my intuition is telling me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always going to be positive, but then it's all about perspective as well. So
it definitely is perspective. Because I mean, I think in my life, and you know, if you guys follow me on a weekly basis, if you're not new here to the show, I have been working so hard to align myself. You know, it's like we turn into our 30s and we had that like sense of we needed to have our shit together. And I was like, well, I don't. It's not together. I don't think anybody will ever have all their ducks in a row and all their shit together. We should always want more. But I'm in a place of peace. A lot of growth still needs to be done. There's so much I still want to do. But when I look back to where I was and where I am today, it feels that way. It feels like everything is just in its place. And it feels complete.
Yeah, and like with you saying that, it kind of reminds me of this card. It's like, okay, I'm taking care of business. Like like he's comfortable, you know. Like there's nothing that's undone. Yeah, there's lush, there's green, and then the yellow with the happiness. It's like, okay, I'm cultivating, I'm getting in the groove. You know what I'm saying? I'm building, I'm growing.
Finally, because I was sitting. See, if you would have done this a couple of months ago, you would have been like, there's no moving and there's no nothing, because I've been in a very still place. And to me, I said this before, I feel like God sat my ass down when I got pregnant, and I was going and going and going and going, and finally he allowed me to, you know, bear a baby and become pregnant. But it was like, you got to sit down and you got to chill. And that was really, really hard for me. So now I think today it's like one of the most, this weekend and today is one of the most productive days I've had. And I'm like, I told Ayana, get off my phone. She wanted to call me about how she's rearranging her room. And I'm writing emails. And I said, girl, I can't talk to you about the bed being on the other side of the room right now. I am busy. Call me in the afternoon, like in the evening. So I do feel like that wasn't so bad. Can you read yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, so like that's something you can do. I didn't know if like tarot reading, you can do it for yourself.
Yeah, like there's people that do like a daily card pull where there's just shuffle like I was doing. And there's different ways. Like some people spread the cards out, select the card. I like to do pop-out cards because I just feel like that's just energy speaking, like when the cards flip out. And it'll be so crazy. Like I'll just start shuffling and the card will like land right there. And I'm like, damn it, that's the card I was thinking of, you know? So it's just cool to see how your intuition strengthens with using tarot cards. It's fun. Just like people like playing a deck of cards. I'm pretty sure it originated from tarot readings. And it was just a way, you know?
I think you should start charging people to do tarot reading. You can do them on Zoom. That's a business, babe.
Look, and see, and that's why I'm so excited for this because, you know, it's my birthday month. It's September 1st. And I feel like that's confirmation for me, you know, because I do get a lot of people that ask me for advice and I don't need the cards. Honestly, I'm pretty intuitive. Like people pour out to me all the time and people tell me all the time that when I speak, my words resonate to their soul. So I don't even need the cards, frankly, but I enjoy it. I like it. It's fun. And it's all about what you choose to believe. I'm not doing this for evil intention. So I'm not going to believe that it's going to be evil intention. Because that's, you know, you feel me? Yeah. It's all about what your intention is when you go to, if you go into thinking it's the devil's work, don't be surprised if you feel that energy around you. You know, but if you go into it saying, this is a way for my ancestors to speak, to connect with me, my angels to connect with me through these cards, through the songs I hear, through the shows and TV and programming I see on the TV. I believe like the signs are everywhere. You know, I believe that spirit speaks and we have the answers to our life, but we just choose to ignore it. And we seek out we ask questions that we already know the answer to. Yeah. You know, we look for people to justify our bad choices. Like, bitch, you know what the answer is. If you know better, do better. But we don't want to do better. We want somebody to justify our lazy work, to justify our complacency. You know, and it's like, no, if you stand in your truth, stand in your power, like, you know what, I made this decision, but I have free will to change it. And there's also some belief that, you know, you shouldn't do tarot because you shouldn't know the future. Like that whole thing, like you should, like it's the devil's work to know what's going to happen in the future or whatever. And what I say to that is if you're doing the cards and you're doing a spread where you're asking specifically, what does the future hold for me? And it tells you, and if it's something unfortunate, that's letting you know, okay, you have free will to change this outcome. Okay, we all have choices every day. And, you know, sometimes we make choices that we know we shouldn't make, but because it's comfortable or we don't want to do the right thing. So it's like, if I see this reading, it's telling me some unfortunate thing is going to happen, such as the Tower card, the death card, the devil card, that lets me know, okay, I'm focusing my energy on the wrong things. And if I don't change it, if I don't exercise my free will, this is what could happen. So again, it's just your intuition, spirit, your ancestors, the angels say, hey, look now. Get it together. Get your shit together, as you were saying.
Right. No, that does make sense. I do want to ask you about a little bit about signs and then that damn Mercury retrograde. I did want to touch on real quick because I loved your cards, but everybody talks about signs and they try to be like, oh, is this person right for me? Friendship, love, family, all this stuff when it comes to their signs. So I'll ask you, when you first said it, you were like, oh my God, that's perfect. Let's talk about Wax and I for a little bit. Let me see if he's here. Let me check for the card.
Okay.
Damn, he's here. He might be listening.
Hey.
So he loves saying he's a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. I think Virgos are very proud of their sign.
We really are. We're so proud.
Everything is because he's a Virgo. And I'm like, bro, it's because it's you. No. It's because he's a Virgo. So what do you think about Virgo man and Taurus woman?
I believe that's a great match just off the top because it's both earth signs. Taurus and Virgo are earth signs. So they're complementary. They're both grounded. They both believe in hard work. They believe in foundation, solid partnership, tradition, things of that nature. So Virgo is the sign of service. Virgo is the only human sign in the zodiac. And we're also the midpoint of the zodiac. So we understand both the human and the spiritual aspect. Again, Virgo is the servant. Taurus, again, very hardworking, very traditional. They're ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love and security, money. So when Virgo and Taurus get together, that's going to be a partnership of people that believe in giving to one another, but also building a strong security support and getting that money.
Oh, we go for that money.
And high quality. Yes, like striving for the best. Striving for best. Mm-hmm.
Especially him. He's always like, we want just more, bigger, more, bigger. And I'm like, okay, let me sell some more courses and get some more ads, bro. Hold on, give me a second. Let me create another business. Hold on, more templates? Okay, more templates.
It's a power couple dynamic for sure.
I like it. I'm not gonna bring this up. Maybe May, give me your sign and an X. I was gonna bring up one of my X's, but I'm not. It's gonna get me in trouble.
I will say Aries and Cancer.
I know I've experienced, not me personally, but I've seen this partnership, and the Aries gonna run all over that Cancer. They're gonna run all over them. It's like chew them up and spit them out, basically.
Oh man, I think so.
I am curious though. Wait, what about Aries and Aquarius? Because I just have this like theory that Aquarius men they don't have a good track record in my book. Like for me, for my friends, for like the guys I know that are Aries, Aquarius, they just don't have a good track record. So what about Aries Aquarius?
Like when I think of Aquarius men off the bat, I think of men that have asshole like jokes, dick humor jokes, not dick humor, but asshole jokes. Like they're mean as fuck, but it's funny and it's true because it's true type men. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of Aries Aquarius, I immediately thought of like this tango, this like fun, because Aries is fun and then Aquarius is like free spirited, don't hold me down. So I would think it's very fun, like that push pull type energy, because fire needs air, right? Fire needs oxygen. So fire and air are complementary, earth and water are complementary.
So what about Taurus and Cancer? Cancer is like July, right?
Cancer is end of June to mid-July, like the 20th.
Okay.
That's one of the like most compatible Aries, Taurus, and Cancer. Again, Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. Cancer is water, like Cancer and like Pisces and Scorpio. But Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. Very nurturing, emotional, intuitive. So then we have that with the Taurus, which is also very grounded, stubborn, but big heart. It's like, I'm not gonna let you know I'm sad, but I've got my feelings hurt. I really got
I'm not telling you shit.
I ain't telling you shit. And Cancer's kind of the same way because they're the crab. So, and the crab, they're like this, right? So very watery, very deep. Like when you hurt their feelings, they're going to retreat. And the Taurus is going to put up the brick wall. Yeah, they're going to put up the brick wall. But when they're both evolved and healthy, they can make a great partnership, great compatibility.
So my friend Dexy's a Cancer.
I love Dexy. I saw her today.
You did?
I trained her. Yeah,
she's so fine. I know she posted a picture. I was like, you look good.
She really is.
I'll never be as pretty. Like I don't mean like
body.
Her body. I had to come to the conclusion in my life that I'll never have the body Dex has. So that made me happier.
You can't do that around me. You can't do that around me. You can't.
No, but I can't.
You.
Listen, I'm squared, and I love my body.
Okay.
I just ain't gonna have Dex's body because I kept comparing, and you can't compare.
So that's
the only reason we're able to be as close as we are, because I had to come to the realization that I cannot compare myself to her fine ass.
Yeah, she's beautiful. And I literally asked her today, like, what's your sign again? And she's like, Cancer. I said, oh yeah, Cancer. So she's so
love
sweet.
her and her little Cancer ass.
Yeah, they make they're great compatible.
I should take a screenshot of it and post it so I can have guys sending dick pics to her to her DMs today.
Yeah.
I like that to people sometimes. Okay, so one more thing that I don't understand when it comes to all this spiritual moon, sun signs, meditating type stuff. Mercury retrograde. Yes. What I love blaming it because Twitter be like, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm like, I'm in a bad mood. Boom, Mercury retrograde. I don't know what it means. I just blame it because it seems cool on Twitter to do so, and I have somebody to blame. But what does it mean? Where does it come from?
Okay, so the word retrograde. So, we have the planets, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Earth, all that stuff. So each planet has a retrograde period. Mercury is the planet of communication, news, travel. Mercury rules the zodiac sign Virgo and Gemini. So that's why Virgos and Geminis, they tend to be great communicators, very articulate, right? So Mercury, the planet of news, travel, communication, when it goes retrograde, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going backwards, which retrograde typically means. It means that the planet slows down. So it appears to go retrograde or move backwards, and everything is flipped. So if Mercury forward means, or Mercury direct means that news is traveling, there is clear communication, clear flow of traffic. When it's retrograde, you're going to see traffic jams. You're going to see miscommunications. You're going to see technology malfunctions, where your computer just dies out of nowhere, where you just hit unexpected traffic when you typically don't. Any type of technology functions, that's what typically happens in Mercury retrograde. So it's important to know when that's happening, because I'm not planning a trip during Mercury retrograde. I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I double check all my emails during Mercury retrograde. I'm gonna make sure everything is charged and up to date in Mercury retrograde, because that's when the shit happens. But Mercury retrograde is a great time to do all the shit. Realign, reorganize, re-strategize, refresh, any type of when you go back, you're cleaning, you're detoxing, you're revising, you're revisiting, any type of things that requires you to go back and take a closer look. That's what Mercury retrograde is all about. So you may notice that typically, it was so funny because me and this person in my life,
it's a boy. It's
a male Taurus. Actually, it's a male Taurus.
Really?
Typically, we would have poor communication, but when Mercury retrograde would happen, that's when we had the best communication. And it's sad because it's like, damn it, we're only getting along because it's Mercury retrograde. And it was so funny. So I would be able to kind of time it like, okay, that's why you're not being as much of a dick, because it's Mercury retrograde. You literally can't help it.
I'm looking here now, and it seems like we know when Mercury retrograde or Mercury is going retrograde. Like it showed here, 2020 was February 16th to March 9th. Then June 18th to July 12th.
Cancer season. It's always Mercury retrograde in Cancer season.
And then there's no more?
No, there should be one in like October, November. There's usually 3 to 4.
October 13th to November 3rd.
Scorpio season.
Yes. So the pre-retrograde shadow begins September 23rd. Post-retrograde shadow ends November 19th. Oh, so there's shadows to it too.
Yeah. So when you consider Mercury retrograde, you want to consider the pre through the post. The retrograde period may be 2 weeks, but there's also about 2 weeks of pre-shadow and about 2 weeks of post-shadow. So you want to consider like that whole time frame.
What the
be on the safe side.
Oh,
yeah, but it's a great.
So you're trying to tell me that when there's Mercury retrograde, you don't go on vacation?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I would be more mindful to not schedule any traveling, because that's when like the flight is canceled, or you just happen to be overcharged because you missed the deadline because you got the miscommunication. Oh, I thought it was the 3rd, but it's really the 1st that it was due. You know what I'm saying? So it's or you think you sent the text to somebody and they're like, oh, why didn't you text me back? I was like, oh shit, I never sent the text. That miscommunication is typical or more prevalent.
I'm in Mercury retrograde 365 days a year. I never text back.
Yeah, so it's just like anything regarding news, travel, communication, or technology, the opposite of fully functioning or working appropriately.
And it happens for everyone, not just certain signs.
Everyone, yeah.
Everybody,
and it's not going to be like, and it's not that in Mercury retrograde, your computer's going to die. You're going to get in traffic jam. That's not the case. It's just be more aware. It's more likely to happen because the energy, that's what the energy is. So.
I have felt certain times, I don't know if I won't say that I'll like be like, oh my God, I swear by it. Yeah. But there's times that things are like, oh, this week has just been awful. And then I go on Twitter or on Instagram, they're like, it's Mercury retrograde. I'm like, boom, there had to be a reason because it's not me. I am sharp. Or it might be. But then I'm like, I also ran out of Adderall that week. So was it Mercury retrograde or was it that I don't have any more Adderall?
Exactly. And that it's whatever you says it's going to be, because some people want to blame it on Mercury retrograde and some people just take it for what it is, so you may not have any type of, experiences of Mercury retrograde, and that's okay. And then you may feel like, Like there's been plenty of times where if I have good communication with someone and then it's Mercury retrograde, all of a sudden they have an attitude or we just have a disagreement, I'm not going to take it personal because I know it's Mercury retrograde. And then after Mercury retrograde passes and then it's back, I'm not tripping like I used to. Like, oh my God, what did I do? I know it's Mercury retrograde, so I'm not going to take that shit personal because it's the energy. And that's another thing with being spiritual. You just kind of learn to not take shit personally because you know it's not you, it's the energy shifts. And this energy, just like it changes, is going to change back.
What was that October date? October 13th. Remember, I'm gonna be a bitch on purpose.
Oh Lord!
Leaving a man.
Oh Lord! That's not how this works.
Let me put an alarm on. I'm gonna be like, I want this, and I want it now. And it's gonna be Mercury retrograde combined with pregnancy. Can't tell me nothing. Okay, just kidding. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and switch over to our unsolicited advice.
Okay.
I'm excited about these. So I have some of these. And they're actually, wow. So let's just go into them, right? Let's just go right into it because I didn't think this one's kind of long. Let's go into this.
Oh, Lord.
I hate reading about this right now while I'm pregnant, but it's okay. So this one says, recently I had a miscarriage and also got a procedure done. So wait, am I starting in the right place? Yeah. So we had to wait some time to have sex again, of course. I have to get back into the swing of things eventually, but I don't know my body anymore. Anybody who's ever been pregnant knows what I mean. Definitely. Like you don't know what your body wants. It doesn't want. Like 1 second you're fine and the next second you're like, ugh. Anywho, we had a little session Friday night, but nothing serious. So we did it again last night, but this time it was way different. He was being too rough. So I told him to stop. Tell me why this man got an attitude, gets dressed and storms out. I text him saying how I felt and he goes to saying that he's sorry, blah, blah, blah. But no, you hurt me and you left me and didn't ask if I was okay or anything. So I don't want to forgive you right now. Then he gets mad at me and sends a fuck you text. So at this point, I get heated. I went like I'm innocent in the situation. Yes, I talk slick as fuck. So I came off crazy too. But you're mad at me and decide to speak on my baby. I'm not forgiving no one for that. Long story short, he did all that trash talking and turning up, and now he's calm and wants to talk. I want to tell him, basically fuck him. I want to fuck some shit up about my child. I want to ruin this motherfucker, but I think I should just keep ignoring him and let it and him go. I wish you would have said what he said about that baby.
Yeah.
But whatever it don't matter what it is. It don't matter. It was during a fight, so it was nothing nice. It clearly was not nice. I can't imagine going through something so traumatic. But what I do want to say is I want to start off by saying that I think we forget this as women sometimes in society. When there's a miscarriage in a relationship, both partners are suffering from it. The woman physically, hormonal wise, but I think that we forget that men get really attached to this. So when it's gone, like, and I see it, probably I didn't see it as much because I don't remember much about Ayana's pregnancy, but it wasn't like this with Wax. He's so attached. Like it's always asking, and he's not growing the baby, but he might as well, he's there and touching and feeling and up. And he's very emotionally attached to a child that he doesn't even know or has felt yet. So who knows what he's going through? His frustration, we don't know where it came from, but none of that excuses his behavior. Yeah. So you're allowed to be upset the same way he is allowed to be upset, but the actions that he took probably aren't the best actions. So sometimes I think we all say things that we don't mean, and it's fucked up, and it's a situation. It's really fucked up. I don't know how long it's been since it, but it seems like no one has healed from none of it. Like everything's just fresh, and you guys are going through a lot. So I would say give him a chance to kind of talk. And if this is the first time that it's happened, there's got to be a lot of sexual pinned up frustration. There's got to be a lot of physical frustration. There's got to be a lot of mental frustration, exhaustion. So sit down if this is the first time that it happened and talk about how it just won't happen, how you can prevent it from happening again. Because I'd be ready to like stab a nigga too over some words. But because of the way I am, I don't know how you are, Chi. Words don't affect me too much at first. Excuse me, unless it keeps going and going. I'm like, now you feel some type of way now, nigga. Like, you're not just mad and saying something real quick. Like, you feel this, you really feel.
Yeah.
So I think it's not necessarily fuck him, let him go. I feel like for you to say, hey, I'm just gonna ignore him and let him go, something else must have happened, not just this. But if it's just this, sit down, have a conversation, and figure out what is bothering him, what is bothering you, what you did and what he did to hurt each other, and then try to get past it if this is the only thing that has happened. What do you think?
Well, in regards to you saying how words don't really affect you, I feel for me, words do hurt because my love language is words of affirmation. You know, the 5 love languages,
Yes.
acts of service, time together, quality touch, acts, words of affirmation, and forgot the other one.
Gift.
But gift giving, thank you. So gift giving is my least. My number one is, yeah, I can't, it makes me so uncomfortable. Because I feel like some people just buy it and like, okay, check a box, you know, they didn't really think into it,
like that.
you know? But for me, words of affirmation is like my number one, hits me being a motivational speaker. I love hyping people up, right? So when negative words are spoken to me, it cuts very deeply. So I believe everyone is different in regards to words having a different weight in regards to how hurtful it can be. But I agree with you that there has to be something else. And I feel like, again, we have to trust and honor our intuition. If she feels like at this point, let them go, trust your intuition. You know, I don't think we give enough credit to how we feel, our heart and our gut instinct. And we think, oh, I'm not perfect, so let me give them another chance. No, people treat you how you let them. People show you how they feel about you. And we have free will, we have the power of decision, autonomy to say, okay, I'm going to let them do this to me again.
But do you believe in not making decisions off of temporary emotions? Because I feel like sometimes we're feeling a certain way. And if you sit there and make permanent decisions off of a temporary emotion, that can fuck your ass up too.
I agree. I believe it's a time and place for everything, but also for me, I tend to say I do analysis paralysis where I'll feel a certain way, but then I'll think it through to where I'm like, okay, I can see both sides. And then it leads me to indecision or complacency when it's like, no, you felt like this for a reason. And then later on, I come back to that same conclusion. It's like, fuck, I should have just trusted my first intuition in first place. But we tend to reason with people so much. So like in my natal chart, my north node is Aries, my south node is Libra. So typically I'm very much compromising, very much, oh, whatever you want to do. But in this lifetime, I'm reincarnated to be more Aries, to say, no, fuck your feelings. This is how I feel. You hurt me. Speaking in a moment instead of saying, okay, I don't want to cause any type of imbalance in the mood, so let me just shut the fuck up because I want to keep the peace. No, speak your truth. And I think everyone has a different responsibility to use their voice more. So if you feel a certain way, she feels like she need to cut him off, honor that intuition, instinct. And if he wants you, he needs to come back and come with more. You know, don't just say, okay, well, he's sorry, he didn't mean it, let me give him another chance. No. How much do you respect yourself? Is that all you require? Okay, that's fine. But there's other women that require a little bit more. So if you're cool with that, stand in your truth, but don't come later on say, oh, he hurt me again. He already showed you he's going to be hurtful and say mean things.
But aren't people allowed to sometimes get out of character?
I feel like
happened one time. I think you gotta know if that's their character or if it's something, like I said, something traumatic happened, like they just lost a baby. Could they be lashing out of anger and hurt because that happened? So
absolutely.
Take all into consideration.
Absolutely. He could not be evolved right now to where he can process his anger in a healthy way, because anger is an emotion just like happiness, just like joy, just like sadness. So it doesn't make it wrong to be angry, but how you express that anger determines whether it's right or disrespectful or not. So if he lashed out, cool, but I don't think she would be writing to a show asking for advice if this was a one and done thing. There had to be a buildup of something. And it's like
something definitely built up.
Yeah, and it goes back to, we ask questions we already know the answer to. Like, you're asking us because you already know your heart, you're done. You just want us to agree with you and say, yes, girl, go. You already know what you want to do. It don't matter what we think. You're going to do what you want to do anyway. So
doing the affirmation like the cards. Just like
there you go. Am I making the right decision? Does it fucking matter? Are you going to take them back anyway?
You're right.
We know the answers. We just look for confirmation.
I think,
and that's why we
leave him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if he'll show you if he wants you. You know what I'm saying? You could cut him off and see where his card's at. Like, okay, shit, show me how much you want me. Be a queen. Queen don't deal with peasants.
And look, on that.
Look, he probably want to take that same energy to a priest or someone else that he respects. You can hold your tongue with them. Why you can't hold your tongue with me? People disrespect people they want to.
Yeah.
You can reserve yourself when you're in the right company, but then when it's people you know that's going to forgive you and take you back, you let it go and blame it. Oh, I'm just pissed in the moment. Oh, fuck no. You can control your emotions depending on who you're around and what you want.
What you want
Some
out
people,
of them, yeah.
what you want out of them, exactly. Some people like playing on people's emotions. Like I've been saying my whole life, people love to see me get pissed off because I don't have a poker face. Like when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm angry, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people think it's fun to get me riled up because I'm gonna lash out, like kind of like I am right now. I'm not pissed, but I get really excited, so they think
You're
it's funny.
passionate.
I'm passionate, but I'm like dead ass. I'm like, I'm serious, but they think it's funny. So some people like to just,
Push those buttons.
they like to push them and see how far they can get with people. And it goes back to, okay, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. It's my choice. So if she takes him back or chooses not to let him go, he does the same shit, she can't be mad at him because he already showed her this is what I will do. And you've shown me that if I do that, you'll take me back.
Right. Yeah.
Both teaching each other what will happen.
It's true. It all depends. I think we all know, like, an intuition if this is the right person for you to work something through, or if it's time to let it go. Like you said, she knows. Just take everything into consideration. If it's not the first time, you know it's going to happen again. The next one I'm going to choose from one of these two. Let's see. One of them is a single mother of 2. Oh, I'm pregnant again. Or someone that's cheating, but she's not ready to leave.
Ooh.
Let's do, you want to do that one, May? Okay. So this one says, May, so you got to read this one. I think he's cheating, but I'm not ready to leave. This guy I was dating moved in not long after I saw he was on Tinder and confronted him. And of course he was sorry and didn't do anything. But that seed of doubt has already been planted within me. Fast forward, I find an open and clearly used lube in his laundry. And we do not, I repeat, we do not lose. She said she got that walk, girl.
Okay, let's go slip and slide. Come on, slip and slide.
So now I don't know how to handle everything. I love him, but I'm not trying to be a private investigator throughout this relationship. I almost don't want to mention it unless I'm going to do something about it because I'm not ready to leave him. But I know I can't just stew in my feelings knowing whether he isn't here, it's a possibility that he'll cheat. Do I give him a taste of his own medicine or do I live in silence until I'm ready to walk away? Oof. Listen, intuition. You know what's up. You said you got that WAP. You don't use lube because you got that wet. So that lube is not yours. He's using that with that dry hoe down the street. Or
the booty hole of his homeboy.
Oh!
You never know. Game night and shit with the boys. You never know, girl. You never know.
Ooh, girl, her mind's about to go crazy. Listen, I absolutely agree with you. I don't want to be a private investigator throughout a relationship. I've done that for so many years and it was not worth it. Like it's not healthy for you to be like all day wondering what somebody's doing and what they're not doing. I think it's definitely up to vice versa, the woman and the man, to make the other person feel comfortable within that relationship. I think what's up. Him still being on Tinder, didn't do anything. Yeah, okay. I feel like sometimes we say to ourselves, well, as long as he's not fucking, or as long as he didn't touch them, or as long as he's not in a relationship with them, it's okay, or it's not as bad. And we put these like tiers of how bad cheating is. Listen, disrespecting me and cheating on me, it's everything. It's texting, it's sending a dick pic, it's communicating through Tinder, it's using lube on that dry ass pussy. So that if you yourself have levels and you're okay with certain ones and you have spoken about that with them, cool. But I don't think you're okay with any of them. I don't think you're okay with the Tinder. I don't think you're okay with the lube. I don't think you're okay with the communication on the phone because you don't want to be a private investigator looking for it. So no, I don't think, I think he would cheat. One, I don't think you should give him a taste of his own medicine because all you're doing is rolling around in shit. Okay, pig, you want to roll around like in a pig pan full of shit? Like for what? Like let it go. Who plays with shit other than my man back in the day? Like nobody. So there's no need for that. And living in silence, you're living in hell. So like when you said earlier, like you don't necessarily believe in hell, but you want to wake up in a new lifetime, like next to this will be like you creating your own hell here on earth. Staying quiet and feeling this way. I couldn't do it. So I don't know why you're not ready to leave because I don't see anywhere on here where you're saying he paying your bills. I don't care how good the dick is. There's plenty of other dick somewhere else. He not paying bills. Y'all don't have any kids. I don't see anywhere where you mention like all these great things that he's doing. If there were all these positive and pros to the relationship, you probably would at least mention one. He's probably just fine, got good dick, and maybe you're just used to him for now, or you just don't want to be alone. And that is, I have learned myself, that is not a reason to stay in a relationship. Let that shit go. Oh, this guy was saying, oh, y'all moved in. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Move out. You moved in.
Okay.
Whatever. You moved in. All right, move out. Buy them, move out. Like, whatever it is, bring another nigga in. Like, you got a 2-bedroom? Great. If not, he got the couch. Like, do what you got to do. Break the lease. Sometimes it's better to break a lease than to stay there for the next 9 months. So let's say there's 2 months left in the lease. Okay, probably stay there and tough it out. 6 months or more, break that shit. Break that shit and move out and figure out what to do. Stay in a friend couch, do some couch surfing, whatever you got to do. But your mental health is 10 times better and more important than whatever it is staying with anyone. This goes for lesbians and whatever the fuck you are, or a friend or a roommate who just makes your fucking life miserable. Move the fuck out.
Yeah.
What you think?
Well,
you finna stay?
Well, she did say she's pregnant, right?
No. That was somebody else.
Somebody else. Oh, okay. So she moved in with him. He moved in with her.
They just moved in.
They just moved in together. Okay.
He moved in.
He moved in with her. Okay. So she needs to determine what her level of cheating is. She needs to determine what her level of disrespect is, because it's not tender, because you're still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's shown you what he'll do, how he'll treat you, and you're still choosing to be there. Like, you know, you're asking questions that you already know the answer to, but she needs to determine what her standard is, what her level of disrespect is. Because some women, well, I won't say just women, but some people believe that how much bullshit I tolerate from you shows how much I love you, shows how loyal I am. And some people are loyal to a fault, and they hold themselves in prison because they're trying to prove something to somebody else. But it's like, shouldn't you prove that you're worthy of respect? Shouldn't you prove that you're worthy of honesty and love and truth, you know?
At least honesty. Just
you know,
honest.
and it's like, girl, why would you want to give him a taste of your own medicine so you can like balance the scales? Don't you want to be able to say, you motherfucker, I never did you wrong, I never cheated on you? Don't you want to be able to hold that over his head? So like, if you do just as much dirt as him, or he probably never even cheated on you, then you fuck around, now you're the one in the wrong. And it's like, damn it, you should have just left, you know? So you need to also figure out why you're not ready to leave. So you understand that you need to leave, you're just not ready. So why not? So you need to get to the root of that.
Yeah, I don't understand why not. Like, definitely get to the root of that. And when it's like giving him his own medicine, that means you're stooping down to that level.
Yes, you're playing in the mud pit.
That's something that you already see as, you know, as a dirtbag move. So it's like, oh, let me go ahead and be a dirtbag right along with you. And it's not even to dangle it over their head. It's to know to yourself, I'm not that type of person. And that's the only reason why I don't do people wrong the same way they did me, because I love who I am, and I love being able to say, I don't have to go down to your level of shittiness in order for me, I don't know, to make myself feel better. No, I'm good. Do me wrong. Fuck me over. I'm still going to keep, you know, my head held high and keep it going. Karma's going to come for your ass.
And there you go. It's like, it goes back to your intention. So what's your intention with giving him a taste of his own medicine? What does that even mean? You know, just going to fuck around or do whatever. So what's your intention behind that to get back at him? It won't. He's just going to say, woo, you're just as sucky as me. Great. You know, so it's like, what's your intention behind it? To hurt him? You're going to hurt yourself by trying to hurt somebody else? That don't make sense. Yeah, so she needs to determine what her happiness is. Is happiness being with him regardless, or happiness is being loved truly? Because you're not being fulfilled here. So you need to determine what's your level of happiness and respect.
Yeah, I like these. Those were good. Basically, in conclusion to unsolicited advice, know who you are. Trust your intuition. Fuck these fuck niggas. Like, know what you're worth. Know your worth. And we're in a season, we're in an age right now, being in our 30s. You're right, May. You get some therapy, use BetterHelp. BetterHelp is there for you at all times. Like, when you don't know where to go and your friends are, you know, we're all going through our own shits, you know, going back to Chadwick Boseman, we don't know what they're going through. So sometimes that level of help that you need or advice cannot come from your friends. Maybe it might be a therapist, but we're in our 30s, you know, or if you're almost in your 30s, it's time for you just to think of you, and your mental health is what you need the most.
Absolutely.
And by mental health, I mean emotional health. Like, all of that is just, you need to be working on yourself and making yourself feel better, and not go down to the pit of mud and dirt and shit like some people are in there. Like, for what? Ain't none out there. But again, shit, there's so much up here in this life of happiness or whatever. Like, you don't have to stay with anyone just because you have children or because you own a house
Yeah.
or because you moved in together. That is an excuse to stay with anyone or to
Right.
degrade yourself for them.
Mhm.
We all have it in us. So we're going to go into our last segment, and that is my favorite, shit talk.
Hey.
I didn't have one, but I do. I don't, but I do. And this one is like, I feel kind of bad by saying it because, you know, life right now, it's like 24/7 pregnant, right?
Right.
And I was telling May about it earlier. My skin, oh my God. So pregnancy is so beautiful. And we're just like, you see on Instagram, like belly bumps and I'm growing a human and it's so great. And I'm not saying that it's not, but nobody really talks about like the negatives that come with pregnancy. Nobody talks about. Well, right now for me, one, I won't even touch into them all. One is like I pee every 2 seconds. This baby's literally sitting right on my bladder. So it hurts and it's heavy. And I'm just literally, Wax had to go get toilet paper today. He's like, where did it all go? And I'm like, bruh, I'm wiping my pussy all day long. Like,
oh,
and
yes, wiping the pussy all day. Yeah.
And it's like a trickle. I'm running to the bathroom and you hear, and that's it. And I'm like, fuck. So anywho, the bad outside of that that's happening to me is my skin is so dry. It's flaky, it's red, and it's not like it's acne. I believe it's making my rosacea get bad. So it's red and a little bumpy and itchy and dry. I don't know what to do. So I went to Sephora and spent all this money on some creams. They're not really helping. I'm trying some oils. Nothing is helping me at this point. It feels like the baby's sucking every ounce of moisture out of my skin, but all for the sake of creating a life, right?
Hey, let's go.
So I'm trying to think of the positive side of it, but every time I go to the bathroom and I look and it's just like my entire forehead. I don't know why you can't see it in this camera.
You look amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. You glowing.
And you know, ain't no fucking filter on here, but this little Logitech camera right here, I like it. I mean, this
look
is what
amazing.
I need. So it's just, it's making me flare up with my skin being really red and dry. So shout out to some companies that I'll be talking about soon that will be sending products in for our ladies at the retreat. So I guess it's a good time to say it, but I won't say the names just yet. That I'm partnering up with women, Black and brown women, skincare lines, organic, all like, because we don't know what to put in our skin sometimes. And you go to Sephora or Walmart or Walgreens and you can't even read what's on the back of them fucking, you don't know what you're putting on your skin.
So we got to protect it.
I know, we got to protect all the skin. So all these products, I cannot wait to receive them and like share them with you guys because I know they're going to help. I know they're going to help me and they're going to help y'all. So I can't wait to tell you guys all about it. So that's my little shit talk right now. It's nothing terrible, but it is quite annoying at the moment. Having like loose, dry skin all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that has happened to you or someone's done or you went, in the gym or anything like that?
No. Dog, what has pissed me off? No, because I'm in my birthday season, so you tend to have like good luck and shit be popping in your birthday.
Ain't nobody piss you off right now.
Like Virgos really don't give a fuck. Like we just, I don't know, we just unbothered, just kind of like just move on to something else. But I don't know, like no, I mean I just had my meditation meetup. That was amazing. Like, but I got to talk about like negative stuff, right? Like something like something that's like grinding my gears.
Your headphones did
yes
not play with your hair.
Yes, I'm a cat. So when we was trying to set up the podcast episode, like my headphones, they just came apart, so I keep trying to like put it together. So that's just confirmation I need new headphones because I haven't recorded in a while, but I'm going to pick that up. So now it's like, okay, get you some new headphones and get to work. So again, the divinity of this, the recording of this episode, I'm grateful because it's right in line. It's a push. It's kicking the ass that I need.
I'm sorry, I cut you off, but you were saying you had a meditation meetup. What is that?
Yes. So with the full moon, like we were talking about earlier, I always do a meditation meetup. I started in October 2019. So I'm coming up on a year. And around the time where there's a full moon, because it's a full moon every 4 weeks, I go to Soulmicah Studio located in Orlando, Florida. And I host an 1.5 to 2 hour meditation meetup, which includes yoga, meditation, some light refreshments. And then we get into a circle and just do group talk. So everyone introduces themselves, says their name, and then just just express anything that's on their heart, maybe something that came during the meditation, or, you know, people are just really carrying a lot of energy, really sad lately. So they come to release. I have a lot of people that come and just cry, and they swear they're not emotional. They swear they don't cry. They come to the meditation meetup like, oh my God, the words were talking to my soul. I don't know where these tears are coming from. So it's just a really great time. It's where you come to find your spiritual tribe, you know. So if you're interested,
why can't you do it on a half moon? Why does it have to be a full moon?
It doesn't have to. It's just the full moon represents full energy. Like the full moon is when it's fully illuminated. So it represents full circle, illumination, conclusions, things like that. So it's just a time for people to release is what my intention for it is. But I am going to start hosting new moon meditations at House of Sweat in Orlando. So every 2 weeks, there will be some type of meditation meetup, whether it's for the full moon or new moon. So you can come to either or. So if you miss the full moon, maybe you can catch the new moon in 2 weeks.
Oh, so anybody in Orlando or areas close by.
Yeah.
Your what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is at CheCheBabe, CheCheBabe.
CheCheBabe. Another thing is, so ladies that you're listening to this and you're coming to the retreat, I guess I should tell you guys now, Cheche will be there Saturday morning. We're going to do a yoga meditation thing. I wonder what kind of moon we going to have then?
I need to look into it.
Crescent moon.
You said it's going to be like mid-September, right?
Yeah, you'll be coming September 19th in the morning.
The new moon in Virgo will be, I want to say the 17th, because my birthday is the 16th.
Okay.
It'll be the week of my birthday. So it'll be new moon and Virgo energy. And I could talk about that at the retreat as well, like what that means.
Yes.
But when it's a new moon, that's when the moon is black. That's when you can't see it in the sky. And new moons represent new beginnings, new intentions, new starts. So that's a great time to clean.
This is a perfect time for the retreat.
Exactly. Is this your first retreat?
Yes.
So it's like you're planting the seed for retreats.
Girl.
See the divinity? That's why it's important to know the moon cycle so you can like plan your life. And Virgo is a harvest season. It's abundance. It's earth. So that's money, stability, laying the groundwork.
I love it. I'm so excited. Listen, Cheche will be there. May is going to be there. If y'all ain't know, now you know. We're going to have an amazing time. So if you missed out, hopefully you'll catch next year's. We are going to be going out the country next year for the retreat. So that's going to be really exciting. I know. So if you missed it for this year, next year it will be, it will be nothing like this year because there's nothing like the first time.
You better speak it. You better affirm it, girl.
We're going to have an amazing time. So the two ladies that joined on last minute when I said we had some an open spot, we had two new ladies coming in. So shout out to them for last minute saying, I missed it the first go around. There's a spot for me. I'm getting in there. So we'll be there on the 18th to the 20th. So if you guys want to follow us on social media, you'll see all the girls. I'll be tagging them so you can see how much fun we're having and how much new moon shit we're doing, you know, while we're there. Yeah. And then do you have any other announcements of things that you got going on right now outside of your meditation stuff?
Yes. Like I mentioned, the meditation meetups, I do those monthly at Soulmika Studio in Orlando. I will start hosting new moon meditation meetups at House of Sweat, also in Orlando. And I intend to offer it through Zoom because there's a lot of people in the Carolinas, which is where I'm from. And of course, you know, I got some people in New York, girl, starting to like get some traction and shit. So I want to offer it to people that may not be able to be in Orlando that also want to be a part of the experience. I also have My Virgo Friend podcast, which I'm going to update soon. And it's where I talk about the full moon and the new moon. So that's where you can get your forecast and all that shit. And I just speak intuitively as well. And also I tend to go live on Instagram, not every single day, but quite frequently around noon. And I literally just hype people up for like an hour. I tag people in and we just talk and I speak intuitively. So just check it out for yourself.
And she has the same energy when she's on her live.
Oh, thank you.
It's like, it's energy ridden completely. So follow her on Instagram for sure.
Thank
so
you.
CheCheBabe, right?
Yeah, CheCheBabe.
Follow her on there. Now, don't forget, like she said, she is a student of Idea to Launch, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get her to, you know, get her episodes back out because you have the energy, and it would be great for people to get to, you know, hear more of you. You have it. I've told you a million times. You have an amazing voice on the mic, and you're clear, and it goes. So make sure to go onto Apple Podcasts. Rate and review. Shed I'm 30. You know, leave a review. Write something so I can see it. Make sure you give it 5 stars. go look up my Virgo friend because she is going to record, and in the next couple of days, she's going to put something out there for y'all. She's going to put something out. So my Virgo friend, find it, subscribe, rate and review it. You'll see more of that. Now, the Patreon book club, we are doing, we did this month, what's the name? Why I can't think of the name? Pregnancy brain. Jesus Christ. What is the name of my book? My Sister Souljah. Coldest Winter Ever.
Okay.
We're going back retro to.
I've never read that. Oh,
You've never read the Coldest Winter Ever?
I know it's like one of the staples for like Black women to read, and I have not. I'm speaking my
So I think everybody read it like in high school. Or everyone so it's one of those books that right now I sat there at the beach for hours and I was reading it and reading. I'm like, wow, it's a completely different perspective reading it in your 30s that when you were back in high school. I'm just like the things that it's just such a good book. And Sister Souljah is amazing with it. So if you want to be part of the Patreon book club, it's going to be the Coldest Winter Ever. Shoot me a DM. I might allow you to come in if you're not a patron so you can get a taste of our book club it's like. So shoot me a DM or an email at shutI'm30podcast@gmail.com and say, hey, I want to come into the book club, or I've read this book before and I want to talk about it. And I'll give you access and I'll send you the link over for the book club so you can join us and see what that's all about. And don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. The video for our episodes the full video versions are on YouTube. So you're hearing the same thing audio wise, but with video, and you get to see our faces and how we react to certain stuff. And you get to see CheChe doing her, what was the little snake dance she was doing?
Kundalini rolls.
Your Kundalini rolls.
Let's go. Yeah, shock to
I
energy.
know.
That's why twerking is essential, because it's really just loosening up the sacral chakra.
Oh Lord, I'm going to twerk some more. Maybe I can twerk this baby out when it's time.
Yes.
To bring him
pelvic
out.
twisting.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Shit I'm 30, and I hope to see you guys back again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.